TIL Captain America #1, with its iconic cover of Cap punching Hitler, came out a year before the US entered World War II. At the time most people did not support war with Germany, so Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, both Jews, received death threats. However, the mayor of New York was a fan and pledged protection. When Kirby joined the army, he ended up serving as a scout, an extremely dangerous job that involved sneaking into enemy territory and drawing what he saw to help prepare future missions. Before setting off for duty, Kirby cranked out an increased flow of comics, stating that he wanted to get enough work backlogged that I could go into the army, kill Hitler, and get back before the readers missed us. Kirby, who grew up in Manhattan's rough Lower East Side, knew how to throw a fist and didn't back down from anyone, especially a Nazi. As Mark Evanier describes in his biography Kirby, King of Comics, Jack took a call. A voice on the other end said, "There are 3 of us down here in the lobby. We want to see the guy who does this disgusting comic book and show him what real Nazis would do to his Captain America." To the horror of others in the office, Kirby rolled up his sleeves and headed downstairs. The callers, however, were gone by the time he arrived. The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay has a lot of similarities to this. Highly recommend it. Link, https://en, wikipedia.org/wiki/the_amazing_adventures_cavalier_%26_clay. Can't remember if it was Jack Kirby, but there was apparently a member of the American Nazi Party that came to the office personally to complain about their treatment in comics. Kirby came downstairs to kick the Nazis' ass, but the guy was gone by the time he got outside. Jack went on to be a scout in World War II. His drawing skills came in handy, scouting into enemy territory and drawing intel. Most comic professionals that enlisted worked in military media. Jack was beyond the front lines with a damn sketchpad. Yeah, my crush on Jack Kirby is pretty huge. I have this comic. It's amazing how much we have all glossed over our mid-century fascist tendencies. 25% of Londoners voted for the British Fascist Party before the war. Most history either taught or watched on TV would make you believe that every man, woman and child was ready to do what's needed in the face of an undeniable evil, when in reality a significant portion of the Allied nations' population thought Hitler was a good guy for finally doing something about that pesky Jewish problem. People tend to forget about the widespread anti-Semitism that existed both in Europe and the US before World War II. There were Americans and Europeans who felt that Hitler really was onto something. There were Nazi gatherings outside of Germany too. That's something that should never be forgotten, because we tend to see history as black and white. One side was good and the other bad, and we assume that everyone that wasn't on the side of bad therefore was on the side of good, which simply isn't true. Forgetting that means that we are risking the same things happening again, and I think many of us can see it trying to claw its way back in right now. It doesn't matter what group of people that get singled out and used as scapegoats, it's always a political ploy that weak leaders use to scare people so they focus on hatred instead of what is actually happening: politicians stealing from the people and making sure they get more power. Why do they have to get political? There are plenty of examples of real shitty real-world leaders right now for Cap to punch. Hell, they could make it a limited run in this tradition where Cap just beats up a different fascist every issue. I bet it would sell like goddamn hotcakes. Dang. Till most people didn't support war with Germany. History has made it out like we were just itching to get over there to stand up for freedom. Also thankful for the mayor for protecting them. Death threats for depicting Hitler getting punched. Weird looking back at it. I wonder how people will look back at right now. I'm the world, lol. I like how one of the Nazi guards is firing at Cap America with a Tommy gun, an American submachine gun. Cool fact, but that article was not well written. Meanwhile, Superman's first issue has him thwarting a politician who wants to get America embroiled in Europe, even though his creators are Jewish too. And Superman was instrumental in fighting the KKK, as well. Which just makes all the kids complaining about politics in comics, read, women, gay, and black heroes, absolutely hilarious. God, his shield is so different and looks weird. Ugh. This is why I'm not a fan anymore. Keep your politics out of my comics. /S, could you imagine Marvel having the guts to show Captain America punching Xi Jinping in the face in a comic today? I couldn't. And have a German soldier inexplicably firing an American Thompson, and a lefty with a Luger. We were inundated with a torrent of raging hate mail and vicious, obscene telephone calls. The theme was death to the Jews. At first we were inclined to laugh off their threats, but then, people in the office reported seeing menacing-looking groups of strange men in front of the building on 42nd Street, and some of the employees were fearful of leaving the office for lunch. Finally, we reported the threats to the police department. The result was a police guard on regular shifts patrolling the halls and office. No sooner than the men in blue arrived than the woman at the telephone switchboard signaled me excitedly. "There's a man on the phone, says he's Mayor LaGuardia," she stammered. "He wants to speak to the editor of Captain America Comics." I was incredulous as I picked up the phone, but there was no mistaking the shrill voice. "You boys over there are doing a good job," the voice squeaked. "The city of New York will see that no harm will come to you." I thanked him. Fiorello LaGuardia, the Little Flower, was known as an avid reader of comics who dramatized the comic strips on radio during the newspaper strikes so that the kids could keep up to date on their favorite characters. Though most were probably neutral/indifferent, pro-fascists probably outnumbered anti-fascists in America, especially among those with actual power. Under a different president, who knows where we would have ended up? It's not like the US hadn't already embraced eugenics and white supremacy. With the right propaganda, we could have been allies, an outcome supported by the rich industrialists who owned our nation. IIRC, the US even initially turned away Jewish refugees. We gloss over that part. In retrospect, it's easy to see who was the bad guy and who wasn't. Everyone is pretty unanimous in their hatred for Hitler today. But during the actual event, there are a surprising number of people in support of the wrong side. Hitler had supporters. There were a lot of loyalists during the US Revolutionary War. Etc. etc. Recent political events especially have shown that the average person is not good at discerning good from evil. Those Nazi rallies at Madison Square Garden in NYC blew my mind. Edit, Wiki, https://en. M. Wikipedia. org/wiki/1939_Nazi_rally_at_Madison_Square_Garden. Death threats. A most bizarre and impotent outlet for the deranged. I can't believe people take the time out of their day to make them. R/aged like wine. So Captain America was punching Hitler before it was cool. TIL, that Captain America started as pro-war propaganda to give America's youth a positive outlook on war with Germany while most of the country was still anti-war. There's people offended by this right now. Not all New Yorkers were anti-Nazi. https://en. Wikipedia, org/wiki/1939_Nazi_rally_at_Madison_Square_Garden. Baprov equals SFLA1. Today's version should be Cap punching Trump in the face. Some of us even consider joining Germany, never mind just not wanting to help. I love that stuff. Literally the first superheroes in the world were created by Jewish people creating hope for their people and the world. America wasn't exactly a bastion of freedom as we'd like people to believe. Our Jim Crow laws inspired Nazis, and many Jews could have avoided genocide if America accepted refugees from Europe, which we largely didn't do. Interestingly, that mayor of New York was also Jewish, so it might be more than his love of comics that motivated him to pledge protection. Long-serving mayor too by the Wikipedia page, and an interesting chap. https://en. M. Wikipedia, org/wiki/Fiorello_law_Guardia.